Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Also, behind me, the closed-down MCC, where Jeffrey Epstein was carted out to a hospital not far from here. Now, today is Friday, July 18th, 2025, and among the other cases, there was an announcement yesterday from Washington that the administration would be seeking to unseal the grand jury transcripts of Jeffrey Epstein. Well, we're on the lookout. We've been on the lookout. As we tweeted last night, the case was before Judge Berman. Of course, Jeffrey Epstein, the case against him didn't proceed because of the events I just described behind me. But against Ghislaine Maxwell, it did, and we covered that trial in great detail. Put out a book called Maximum Maxwell that has it all, including its connections to the United Nations, which I'll get to, an organization I'll name at the end of this. But so far, nothing. We follow both cases closely enough that if a filing to unseal, unless the request itself was sealed, was made, we would be alerted very quickly. So there's also some civil litigation involving Ghislaine Maxwell before Judge Preska. That's a lot more documents. There's been a lot of sealing in that case. So maybe, but that's not grand jury. Grand jury is a criminal matter. So watch this space. That's all I can say. Now, on the Roman storm, the reason that we're able to devote these resources today is that the trial we've been covering in great detail from 9 a.m. on each day, U.S. versus Roman storm of tornado cash. Today, the jury is not meeting. There should be something this afternoon, although it's not yet in the docket. Another docket complaint. We may have to, I don't know, maybe they're just a little late on the noticing of it. But we put out a book because it's important, because this case is moving very fast, and the topics, believe it or not, although maybe not of as wide an interest as Jeffrey Epstein, few things are, is important. It's a matter of digital privacy, that's what the proponents say, versus money laundering and apparently assisting North Korea in its weapons of mass destruction. Of course, Roman Storm is not North Korean. What happened is that apparently, if you take what's been presented in court, a gaming website in Vietnam, based in Vietnam, Axie, and was on the Ronin Bridge, was hacked for $600 million. The government says by the Lazarus Group of the North Korea government. We've covered them previously in the famous Bangladesh bank case down here. But, so, the money was laundered through tornado cash, which, apparently they say it's a washing machine. It's a digital privacy thing. It's all going to come down to another fight that's coming up next week is about the expert witnesses that Roman Storm wants to put on, saying that people that hold crypto are subject to torture. And there was a case like this in Manhattan quite recently. So we'll see. But the book is out, and it's called Crypto Tornado. It's available so far in ebook and audiobook, and the paperback is well along the way. There were some issues with the cover, but it should be out. It will be out. Now, we've, again, using the freedom, we covered this Boston trial, which is, to me, it really hit its peak today. Association of American University Professors versus Rubio. And Rubio's official, John Armstrong, was on the stand. And I have to say, things that he said are going to be quoted in Judge Young's decision whenever it comes out. He says September. Because he was asked to define anti-Semitism. You can find the thread. People were reacting to it strongly. It might have been better to be, who knows? Who knows? There's an issue with standing, though. Again, this case is not brought by the people actually threatened with deportation. It's brought by professors who say they were chilled. And then when I last checked, the general counsel of the AAUP, herself a law professor, was saying that this, basically it's a diversion of resources standing argument, which I'm aware of from the fair housing context, but she's saying that she was required to provide counseling, and I don't know. I don't know if today's Supreme Court is going to uphold that standing argument. So watch this space. Now, interestingly enough, one of the lawyers for the plaintiffs, the professors, is from New York, Alexandra Conlon. She did a fascinating job on Armstrong. She's also defending Sean Combs in Rivers versus Combs. So take that as you may. On the Diddy docket, because we cover it, Graves versus Combs, one of the civil cases, has been stayed by Judge Torres, pending decisions in the Second Circuit, including on the Alexander brothers, that we also cover. Okay, all that said, we got to get in there, but the United Nations, well, they don't answer any questions. Today we have yet another scoop from UN World. It's the International Seabed Authority, of course, ISA. As you might imagine, full of waste and fraud and corruption because a fish rots from the head. The UN and the global institution system under Antonio Guterres, more waste, more censorship, more crackdown on whistleblowers. Outrageous, really. So we've applied to re-enter. We applied on January 19th. Have we now passed? We're coming right up. on 1 month of inaction by the UN. It's not totally unacceptable, and it is the litmus test. If this is the last vlog of the week, have a good weekend. To be continued. Innocent Press.